Welcome back to the 2 Minute Warning, episode 390. Today we're going to be back on the NFL draft. I'm going to be talking about Kyle Pitts and where he's going to end up. But before I get into that, question of the day: who was the most recent tight end to be drafted in the top 10, and what year was it? Not too difficult, but it should get you guys thinking. But let's get into it. Kyle Pitts, whether or not he's going to go top 10, I think that he certainly has the talent. We saw at Florida, I believe he had 12 touchdowns this year, way more than any other tight end. He is a mismatch for just about anybody. He is too fast to be guarded by the linebackers and too big to be guarded by the cornerbacks. I really like him on just about any team. Obviously, the teams have priorities, so not everyone's going to take him. I think it's going to be it's going to be very close, very difficult to tell whether he's going to be drafted top 10 this year just because of how much talent is in this draft class, how many quarterback-desperate teams there are. So the 1 through 4, I don't think will take him just because of the fact that they are in desperate need of other things. Trevor Lawrence, I think, is pretty much a lock at number 1. The Jets either need to protect Sam Darnold or they need a new quarterback, so I think they take a quarterback. Dolphins have Mike Gesicki. They're not looking for another tight end. And the Falcons could certainly use him, but there are so many other areas on that team where they were lacking. We saw him go, I think they only won 4 games this year, so they're going to need to improve other places. I think that him and Matt Ryan, along with their wide receiver core, would be lethal, but I do think that Matt Ryan's getting older. They're going to take a quarterback as well. Just from what I've been looking at, and the Bengals do need an offensive line, so Joe Burrow doesn't get hurt again. So that brings us to about number 6, I believe, with the Eagles. And I know they have 2 solid tight ends with Zach Ertz and I can't think of the other one. But I don't think it would be a bad idea for them to draft Pitts and maybe trade Ertz, or just that would free up some cap space. Kyle Pitts is, I think, one of the most talented tight ends. He's going to be one of the most talented tight ends in the league, even in his first year. And he's going to be a lot less expensive than Zach Ertz. So I think that would not be a bad option for them. However, I don't know if that will happen. I think that they might just draft another wide receiver like Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase, whoever's available at that spot. Then we go to the Lions. Once again, could use him, but I don't know if they will. They're looking really bad for this upcoming year. Just got Jared Goff, traded away Matt Stafford, who was one of the only shining lights with that organization, which brings us to one of my favorite spots, the Panthers at number 8. I think that this would be a great spot. There's been a lot of rumors flying around that they trade for Deshaun, and I think that Deshaun, DJ Moore, and Kyle Pitts, along with I can't think of who the other receiver is, but that would be lethal. I think that would really turn around this organization, and I really like that idea for them. So I could definitely see him going there. I think that would be one of the best spots. The Broncos need a defense more than they're going to need a tight end. So I would say that they're not going to take him. And then that'll bring us to the last spot in the top 10, where I think that the Cowboys, obviously they need a defense, but I think when it comes down to it, you take the best player, and I think that Kyle Pitts is the number 2, 3 prospect in this draft class just based on his pure talent. We saw he just an amazing year. So I think that if he's still available, which I think he will be around the Cowboys spot, or I think it's possible that he still is, that they might take him, but I'm not too positive about that. And if he falls out of the top 10, I don't see him making it past number 15. There's a couple teams that I think could almost certainly use him, between the Giants, Chargers, Patriots. I don't see him falling out of the top 15. I think it's very likely that he stays within the top 10 just because of how talented he is and how big of a difference maker he would be on any team no matter where he goes. I mentioned I think he'll be a top tight end in the league his first year. But that's all for this video. Let me know where you guys think he's going to end up. And as for the question of the day, the last tight end taken in the top 10 was TJ Hawkinson in 2019. That's all.